What's up, guys? How you doing? This is Micah Dobbins, host of the Micah Dobbins Show, powered by Misfits Media, and I want to welcome you to Free Game Fridays. Today's topic is going to be how to resell through eBay and Amazon. All right, guys, so I can't wait to get into this episode with you, and I want to explain to you why we're doing Free Game Fridays. There's been several people that have asked me questions about different parts of business or industries, and I found it necessary to give out tips and information for free. A lot of times there are those who will try to give you information, but it's like a bait and switch. It's like, well, sign up for this or email this or buy this, and I'm going to tell you that. But we're not going to do that here at the Micah Dobbins Show. I'm going to go ahead and just give you this information while I'm running this series, all free, tips that I personally use, and I'm going to bring on guests who are experts in various fields to help you to have a cutting edge against the competition. Now, the only thing I ask you to do is to make sure that you share, subscribe, and help get the word out so that others also can partake of the content, learn of different ways that they can get ahead, and maybe some of you will be able to be guests on the show down the road to tell me how it benefited you in your business. But nonetheless, I wanted to give this information for free, so be sure that you're following me on every platform you can find, be it Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can also find me on YouTube. And don't forget www.themicahdobbinsshow.com. And I would love for you to keep up with me there. All right, so now that we've gotten the formalities out of the way, today we're going to talk about the reselling game. And it is a very lucrative business. So with that being said, some of you may have seen my post where I shared that my wife and I was able to pay down our car note reselling online. A couple of years ago, we had bought Volkswagen Routan, and we were making payments. I was working a job and paying a mortgage and all these things. And we wanted to find a way to pay down debt a lot faster on the car note. So we began to flip and sell items on eBay. And through flipping and selling these items, we were able to make car payments and other things and handle business and have extra money, which is always a good feeling to have when you're out here in the workforce or doing your thing. So we want to go ahead and get right into it. I'm not going to prolong it, and we're going to jump on this right now. So the first thing we want to talk about, we want to define what reselling is. Reselling is basically a business of buying products and posting them for sale online. You're reselling the items you've purchased, and you usually buy them at a steep discount so that you can sell them for a greater profit. And I want to get into more details in that, but right now we're just giving you the surface as we begin to dig deeper into the different levels. There are benefits of being a reseller. As stated earlier, I was able to pay down bills. You're able to make extra income. It's just good to be able to see money coming in that you didn't have to go out and work an 8-hour traditional job or try to create a business for. So all of those things are some of the benefits that I've enjoyed from being a reseller. As far as my experience in it, as I stated, I sell on Amazon, I sell on eBay. I have a book currently on Amazon that I'm selling. So the way this works, guys, and like I said, we're just going to give you the raw, uncut, free game. When you go to a store and you see a for sale rack, and I'm going to give you the different ways of starting. So for me personally, what we were doing was we were going to, believe it or not, the Dollar Tree. And I know that sounds crazy to some of you out there, but let me break it down to you. We were going to the Dollar Tree, and the Dollar Tree in our neighborhood had these little square boxes. There were Android chargers for your cell phone. And because a lot of people were always breaking chargers, losing chargers, these were the kind where you could actually sit your phone, sit up in the charger of the Android. You could actually sit it into like a little case with a little backrest on it. So we were able to get those for $1 at the Dollar Tree, mind you. I was selling them online for $10. I think at one point it might have been like $15, and then we end up dropping the price down, and I'll explain that, to about $10 each. And I was selling these at work. I could do like, two for 5 each or one for 10, and people were buying them like hotcakes. I would have the boxes just sitting out of my desk, and they walk by and see Android chargers. They were like, "Hey, you selling these?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got all kinds. What do you need?" And I would sell these things at work as well as online. But right now we're talking about reselling, and we were selling them on eBay. And as we sold them on eBay, what you're going to find is we were one of the first people to start selling them. But over time, other people started posting the same item. So then you kind of get into a price war. So originally it may have been like maybe $14 or $15 per charger. But then we see another guy has it. He might drop it to like $13.50. So when you see that, you can leave yours for a minute. You see that the sales are going through. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to drop mine down to $13.25. And you kind of go into a war. But the key is you don't want to go to where you're losing your profit margin, which you bought it for $1. You're selling it for 14. So you're making crazy money off of your $1. And guys, this really worked. We went to the Dollar Tree. Like I said, we would buy those Android chargers, and they sold so well that we eventually started ordering our own box from Family Dollar. We would use our business account to order them, so that way you can waive the taxes and you can pay the exact dollar amount for a case of those 24 chargers. Of course, this was a couple of years ago when we started doing this, and we realized then that reselling was a good way to make your money stretch and to make money. So with those Android chargers, as I stated, we eventually moved on to other things. And I'm not going to tell you everything we sold, obviously, but I'm going to tell you ways you can find things. We would go to Goodwills in our area, and also on the north side, and to thrift stores. So I remember one time we were in a thrift store, and I found this purse that looked really expensive when I saw it. It was called a Dooney & Burke purse, and it had like a little duck logo emblem on it. So what I did is I took my phone, and after I got my phone out, I looked up the purse, and I saw that it was a high-end fashion item. So then I looked up how to tell if it was authentic or not. And the instructions says something like the duck bill from the duck face should be separate from it. And on the inside of the purse should be like a little leather strap or insignia of the brand. And when I realized that this was an authentic Dooney & Burke purse, I went ahead and asked the cashier how much would they sell it to me for from this thrift store. And she quoted me about $20. I was able to flip that for like $80. So when I tell you I know this works, guys, it's a really good way to make a decent profit on things. You could always go, like I said, to Goodwills, to thrift stores, to yard sales. Take your cell phone with you. And when you're searching items, find items that look like they would sell very well. I believe a woman like from Alabama ended up buying that purse. We've had everything from a little plastic swing set that you hook over a tree sell. I had Franklin Mint, a bunch of model cars, different type of metal cars and different objects is sold. And some of those Franklin Mint cars, those little metallic cars that I had, would sell for over $100. I kid you not. And some of the stuff I got for free. So when I tell you there are ways that you can benefit from reselling and really making money. If you don't have the money to start buying things right away, I highly recommend going to the Dollar Tree and looking at items again, and then going to thrift stores or going to yard sales and working your way up. And eventually you want to get to the point where you're buying from wholesalers, where you're going to warehouses within your city, or you're able to order online, or whole pallets full of overgoods, things that stores have stuffed in there that they couldn't sell, be it somebody returned it or they opened it or something may have had minor cosmetic damage. They put them in a big bin and they sell them. And you can buy Gaylords from anywhere from $300 to $1,500 to $1,000 to $3,000 and on up, depending on what the items are that are in there. And we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit later. But right now, I got to be mindful of my time so that we don't run over. So again, my experience has been selling these items, finding these items has been very rewarding for me personally when it comes to paying things down. I posted in a picture a couple of items I bought on sale from Walmart. Never underestimate the clearance racks at your Kroger, your Walmart, your grocery stores, different places. I actually looked today when I was going through our Kroger and when I walked through, I think it was a Dollar General, and it might have been one other store I went to. I looked to see what they have for sale. Now, when you're buying things that are on sale, you don't want to buy something only $2 or $3 off. Something that's like, oh, it's just 30%, 25% off. These are not the kind of items that you want. You want the big ticket items, the items that are at least over 50, you know, if it's 75% off, if you're buying it for like 80% off, you're buying it dirt cheap if a store's going out of business. These are the kind of items that you want to buy to resell, because these items, you're buying them at the bare minimum just about, and you're able to make a profit easily. Even if you sell them at half price, you've made a profit. But if you buy something that's only like 25 to 35% off, you're not going to make a lot of profit, and you're probably going to lose money even when it comes to the shipping. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience in selling so that you guys can have an idea of how it works. And if you go on eBay or if you use Amazon, whichever one you prefer, we're going to go over that. Basically, you're going to see where you're able to look through your phone to find those items. And when you find those items, you can see the most recent sold. All right. So when you look up the item, you don't want to see if they're for sale on eBay or Amazon, because chances are they are on sale and the price is through the roof or whatever it may be. And that's not telling you the sold. You want to go to where it shows sold listings. So let's say if it was the Android chargers I mentioned earlier, you want to see when the last one was sold. If you see the last one was sold 7 or 8 months ago, or you see that the seller number on Amazon is like well over like a million, you know, the little number there is way up in there, you already realize that, okay, this item right here is not a hot commodity. A lot of people aren't buying it. A lot of people aren't looking for it. When you're looking on Amazon to sell it, the lower the number that you see on there next to it, when you take that item number, the lower it is, the more demand you have for that product. And in eBay, when you see the sold listings, they're always in green. You're able to see what the latest price was to the date, whether they bought it through a bid, whether they worked out a negotiation and paid less than what the seller was already selling it for. All of that information is free if you just do a little research while you're on those sites. So reselling can be very profitable if you know what you're doing and you are willing to do the work that it takes to get there. Now, some are going to say, well, Brother Micah, you know, what do you think, eBay or Amazon? Both are great. The reason why I say both are great is because both are pretty much known brands. They have audiences already built in coming to them. When you search something, chances are you're going to look through Google and you'll see Amazon ad or eBay ad for that item you just searched. And a lot of you that are trying to do businesses or sell products, it is much easier to go ahead and get, you know, the eBay or get the Amazon crowd to jump on your product versus you building your own website and trying to get thousands and millions of people to come to your site, your landing page. There's already an audience at Amazon. There's already an audience with eBay. So it just makes sense for you to use their services as far as drawing traffic to what you're selling. And eventually, if you have an original brand, you want to lead people back to your home base or your website. But never underestimate the power of even partnershiping with Amazon. A lot of people do the fulfillment center partnership with Amazon, where they're actually able to package bulk items, ship it over to Amazon, and Amazon actually handles the shipping and the returns and the giving. You're just sending the bulk items as they request them to different locations of theirs, fulfillment centers, and basically waiting for your money to start to come in when people start to buy your product. But we're not going to get deep into that. Maybe we'll do a special show specifically for Amazon and eBay, and maybe even bring on some sellers to talk about these things. But I just wanted to give you the scoop that both are good. Don't feel like you have to commit to one or the other. Just choose which one and roll with it and stick with it until you begin to make comfortable moves, gains, and profits from it. Now, how to get started. You have two options. Even with Amazon, you can register as a seller. So you have to Google Amazon seller. You cannot sign into your Google Prime member or your Amazon Prime membership and think you're going to sell. If you want to be a seller, you're going to have to get a seller's account. And what they're going to do is they're actually going to give you, there's an app you can put on your phone. I'm trying to pull mine up now. And with the app, you're able to take the app and point it when you log in. You're able to point, add an item. When you click on that you want to add an item to sell, then you have a little camera icon. You hit the camera icon, you point your phone at that item, and it's going to tell you the rank, the selling rank of that item. It's going to tell you how much that item is selling for. It's going to tell you how much if you ship it yourself versus have the fulfillment center do it for you. All of that is broken down. It's even going to give you a place where you type in how much you paid for the item, and then it's going to deduct and show you at the bottom what your profit is for that item should you sell it? So all of this is on the Amazon app, and eBay also has an app as well to help you if you're trying to sell things on there. But I really like the Amazon app because I've been able to walk through stores and just pull up items and just put it to my phone. And when I do that, it'll tell me how much the item's selling for, the price points, and all of that great stuff. So either one you want to do is great. But how to get started, you have to decide if you're going to sell personally or if you want to try to create an LLC and sell. If you don't have the money right now, you're just getting started, there's nothing wrong with selling personally, especially if you're not really doing like your own items, you're not really, buying in bulk. It's not going to kill you to start personally just to get your feet wet and make sure that this is something you actually want to do, because there is a level of work to this. People love to say, well, I want supplemental income, something that's going to come easy. You're going to put in work if you're going to be a reseller. Get that out of your mind that you're going to be on a beach somewhere just looking at a computer, watching items sell off a shelf. It's going to be some level of work that you have to take care of. And I'm going to give you a few tips and information on that. So, as stated, you want to decide if you want to be a personal seller or LLC. And if you file a LLC, you have to do that with the Secretary of State, whatever state that you're in, if you're in the United States. And maybe we'll do a video even on that, which would be great to learn how to file an LLC for those who don't know. I'm also available for consultations if there are those who have extra questions outside of the free game series. You can visit my website, www.themicahdobbinsshow.com, and you can get a consultation with me where we do an hourly rate, and I'll be able to sit down with you and help you in whatever your business you're deciding that you want to do. All right, we're going to take a quick break for a sponsor. And right after this sponsor, we're going to come back with our 6th point, which items to sell. What's up, guys? How you doing? This is Micah Dobbins, host of the Micah Dobbins Show, and I want to take this time to personally thank one of my sponsors, Real Life Snacks. When you see me out and about and I'm wearing the stylish masks during the pandemic, Real Life Snacks are who are supplying the masks for the Micah Dobbins Show. They have items that'll ship the same day as long as you order by 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and you can visit their website, www.reallifesnacks.com, official sponsor of the Micah Dobbins Show. All right, welcome back, guys. So now we want to jump on the question that we left off, which was which items to sell, or what items to sell. Should you sell original items? Should you go with reselling? Well, to be honest, depending on what the product is, when you're trying to sell something original, you have to see if there's even a market for that product. A lot of people, create things, and to them it's great. You might have an idea. I don't know, it could be for a perfume or for an oil or for a soap or for a candle. And to you, the candles are wonderful. The candles smell great. But to everybody else, it's like, man, I can just go right to Bath and Body Works and get a candle. I can go right down to the Walmart, or I can go to Kroger, or, to Target and get a candle. So depending on what that product is, versus reselling, original products can do well. But again, if it's a handmade product, it's going to take you extra time to produce and make that product or manufacture it before you actually get the photos and actually put it out there to sell. With the resellers, it's pretty much you're getting products that are already out there. You ain't got to reinvent the wheel or nothing like that. You just get a product that's already proven or selling, and you're basically getting that item at a low rate, and you're marking it up to retail value and selling that item, so it's a little bit easier. Your only work from there is basically just taking a picture of that item and putting that item up there. So, it just depends on the individual, whether you want to be an original seller or a reseller if you're selling items already. You can do a mix of both, but I recommend trying the reselling first so that you can kind of get a good idea of how Amazon or eBay works before you start putting your original products up there. Now, the other thing I want to tell you is you want to build up as you begin to be a reseller. Start small and kind of work your way to larger items. Don't just go out and say, man, this item here is selling for a whole lot of money and it's a great big heavy item, because there are other costs you have to consider when being a reseller, which we're going to be going over in a minute. So start small and kind of work your way up to larger. Even when you buy something, if you see something for sale, get you a couple of tests before you just buy it in bulk. Don't go say, hey, look, I see right now that, this lotion right now is on sale and it's dirt cheap. I could just buy the whole case of this lotion. When you don't know if anybody's going to be looking for the lotion, you got to think about the season, during the summer months, when people are going to be at the beach, when they're going to be outside. That's probably the time where they're going to be buying sunscreen, lotion, tanning, all those things. You don't want to buy a bulk of those things in the fall or the winter, unless you're planning on holding them to sell the following year. But if that's not your go-to plan, if your plan is to try to sell these items and get them off your hands immediately, then you want to make sure that you're not buying something well beyond its season or towards the end of its season where the sales are going to slump. And that even goes for seasonal items. Sometimes you'll see Christmas things for sale, or you'll see Thanksgiving items for sale, whatever the case may be. If you're going to buy it when it's out of season, just have in the back of your mind, you're saving that for the following year, and you're going to have to find a place to storage these things. You can't just have them sitting out all over the house collecting dust, because eventually you're going to want to put your hands on it to package it and get it out. So, all right, let's get to the next thing. I mentioned, build up, start small, work your way to larger items. Our next point, we want to make sure that you know how to list, to take pictures of your items, to set your price for your items. So again, before you buy something to resell, you want to check to see if there's a market for it, if it's selling on eBay or Amazon. So check for the sold listings, see what the seller's ranker is on Amazon. Once you've done that and you know this product is selling, then you need to know how to list the product. This is part of that work I told you about that a lot of people don't like to go through. The work is important, okay, guys, because that picture is the first thing people see of that item. So the good thing about smartphones is a lot of these smartphones have really good cameras to where they're able to pick things up, and you're able to make it very clear as if you took a professional photographer to do it for you. So the best thing to do is to find you a place in your home. Maybe you can have you a nice little setup, or if you have a nice, white sheet or a black sheet or blue or whatever color sheet, and, set it up on a table. You could always put a box on the table first and set your sheet over the box so that you have kind of like a stair step or like a tier, and you put the item there and you make sure there's very good lighting. If you don't have a lighting kit or something in your home you could use, take the picture outside with natural lighting. Natural lighting is going to make it illuminate and make the product look even better. But nonetheless, experiment on taking different pictures with your phone of the product, and you want to pick the best picture first of that product. You want to make sure it's clear, that people can see exactly what it is, whatever the brand is, and you want that to be your first picture that you upload to whatever platform you're selling it on. And this is very important because when people are looking on Amazon or eBay, they're going to see the same product over and over and over and over again. Yours has to pop. It has to stand out to draw the attention of that person just by the photo first. And of course, the next thing we're going to go over is how you list it. The description of the item really matters. If you buy a eyeliner designed by L'Oreal, you don't want to just put black eyeliner as your listing, because they don't know what product it is. They don't know what makeup manufacturer made it. It just tells the color that you want to give the right detail. So you want to say, if it's called Paris eyeliner by L'Oreal, black, with 2/3 of an inch, whatever it is, it's the description of the item. This is what you want to put in your title. No, don't be stingy with your words here, because when people look at it, it's going to help them to kind of know right off the bat in bold what it is they're paying for. And that picture along with that is going to draw their eyeballs to your item over the competition. The other thing is, when you list that item, you want to put in the description as much info as possible to close the deal for the sale. And when I say as much info as possible, I'm going to teach you a trick, a shortcut that I use This is Free Game Friday, so we're giving it all away. I'm going to teach you a shortcut that I use when I sell items if I don't feel like writing a long description down. Sometimes I write an original description or I add my own words here and there. But if you want to really get a description, you can go, say if you're selling on eBay and you're going to sell, again, Android chargers. Find the same model and charger on Amazon that you're going to sell on eBay. Cut and paste the description from Amazon, save it, and put that on your eBay description. That way you saved yourself the time of listing all the details, the manufacturer, et cetera, et cetera. Cut and paste that, and then you take it over there on eBay and you paste it on your description for eBay, or vice versa. If you're selling it on Amazon, look the same product up on eBay. See the one that sold the most recent, or who sold the most, who has the most stars or the most items listed as sold, because sometimes it'll say this person sold 1 or 2 of the items. Sometimes a person may have sold hundreds of the same item. You want to get their description because obviously if they've sold hundreds, their description is working. So you cut and paste their description and you post that on your Amazon post from eBay or vice versa. And if you're going to use the same page, you chop it up. This is how you're able to get around having to type in all of that description stuff, because it is a lot. It can get tedious, especially if you're listing 5 or 6 items at one time, as I've done before. You're like, I don't want to have to type each item description and look it up. Another shortcut, you can actually look it up on Walmart or Target or the official website. If it's a product made by Sony, you can Google that product number, etc., from Sony, and you can find it, and you can cut and paste their description and add it to your description as you're a reseller. So that's just a free tip to kind of help you guys out to get your feet wet, and it'll give you a little shortcut. As far as setting your price, you don't want to sell yourself short. Look at the most recent sold, and you want to be comparable to that price point. So if the last one sold for like $16, you could do something like put $15.99 or $15.95 or something, so that it appears as if, oh man, it looked like it's $1. Because you know, stores do that all the time. You go to Walmart, you go to Kroger, and they have something for 0.99 cents, and people think, oh man, instead of paying $3, I'm paying $2.99. I'm not paying as much, but you're still paying $3. It's a penny off. So you're able to do that when you're setting your price. You want to be comparable to others that are in that same market or in that field. You want to make sure if you're reselling that and it's not a brand new product, that you're not beating out the stores, because if I could just walk down here or drive down here to my local store and buy it, why should I buy it from you? So you want to make sure that you're doing your research to see what the prices are in the stores as well, so that you're not putting way more than what the product's actually worth on there. And as long as you're turning a profit, you should be happy with that. As far as the setting price and then checking the sold listings, now we want to get to shipping. Shipping is very important when you're listing a product. There are different ways to ship. There are ways where you can do free shipping, especially through eBay. There's a little button you click if you want to ship it for free. And what you'll typically find on eBay is if you're selling the item and you're doing free shipping, and you see somebody sold the item and they charge shipping in theirs, you want to up the price that you're selling the item for, because it's free shipping. So let's say if a person is shipping an item for $10 and then you see their shipping is like $7.99. Well, then you can't sell your item for $10 or offer free shipping, because you already know you're going to lose $7.99 once you sell it. You do the free shipping. You didn't make any money. You see what I'm saying? So you have to say, okay, I'm going to sell the item with free shipping, but I'm going to add that $7.99 into mine's cost, or a little bit cheaper if you want to undercut the next guy. But you definitely don't want to sell that item free shipping and then you're missing out on the shipping, because guys, that could get really expensive. And this is something to consider when you're reselling objects and items. The lighter the item, the easier it is to ship it. You can do first class with the U.S. Post Office, and it's a lot cheaper when it's a lighter item. The heavier the item, the more money it's going to cost you. So if you realize you're selling an item that has some weight, go ahead and charge shipping for the most part. There's no point in doing free shipping unless you exactly know a good figure for that heavy item, pretty much anywhere in the U.S. and sometimes overseas, because I've had that happen before. When people serve in the military and they order products, sometimes it's not just shipping to the U.S. It ships to a base and it's going overseas. And that could be a very astronomical high price, more than what you want to pay if you're not careful. And what happens with eBay and some of these companies is they'll charge you back against the shipping later. So you'll pay the item and you'll think you got the shipping and you cut the corner, but they're going to charge you back. And when they charge you back, it's going to come out of your account eventually. So you want to make sure that you're charging a fair rate in shipping. The best thing to do is buy a digital scale. I think Amazon sells them. In fact, if you look in the description, I'm going to post a digital scale where you're able to buy a digital scale. And if you buy that digital scale at the Amazon link, then you'll be able to weigh your items so that you know exactly what they weigh, put it in, and it'll calculate how much the item is going to sell or how much it's going to cost for you to ship that item. But as far as shipping now, you want to be able to save money when you're shipping. The cheaper your shipping costs, the more money and more profit you make off the item you sell. So what I recommend is we're going to hit the Dollar Tree again. If you go to the Dollar Tree, they have padded envelopes. They have manila envelopes, but we want the padded ones depending on what you're selling. When I had the Android chargers, I would buy the padded envelopes from the Dollar Tree. The same Dollar Tree that I bought the Android chargers from, and mind you, and these padded envelopes, they would sell 2 for $1. So I'm paying 50 cents for the envelope. I'm paying $1 for the product that I'm selling. So anything I sell it for, if it's $20, $15, $10, I only spend $1.50 on that. I charge the shipping to the customer. They're paying $2, $3, $4 for shipping. You know, I go first class to the post office. They actually have boxes and items at the post office. They used to have it free and used to have free tape, but you really can't find that anymore. So you may have to pay for some shipping, definitely. I mean, for your tape for your shipping, and you may have to pay for the boxes, but add all of that in your cost overall of your item so that you know exactly what your profit points are. Hopefully you guys are getting this right now. Another thing you could do is go to local warehouses, or if you got relatives that work in warehousing, a lot of times in warehousing, they may have boxes and things that they throw away. The warehouse will cut them all up and throw them out by the dumpster, or they'll have like peanuts foam or bubble wrap, all these things. Don't underestimate. Go to some of these warehouses and say, hey, by any chance you guys have any boxes? They don't need to know if it's for moving or what it's for. They might, oh yeah, we got boxes. What size you need? And you get those boxes so that you can use them for your reselling business. If you have a box that's mailed to you, some of you may already order from Amazon, and you have that label on there, get you a black marker, color it out. You can actually cut one end of the box and flip it and invert it to where you can use the outside of that box, or you could just cut those labels off or cover them off. But you want to recycle and use as much as you can. When you get gifts, think of ways of recycling those boxes that you can reuse while you're selling. Another thing you could do if you want to pack something really soft, if you're shipping glass and you don't want to buy peanut foam, or you don't want to buy the bubble wrap foam, you could actually take Kroger bags, plastic bags from Walmart, Kroger, CVS, whatever those plastic bags that you're keeping underneath your faucet over there in the kitchen or whatever. Take those bags and ball them up and put the item in the center of those, because the main thing is just for it to be protected so that it doesn't get destroyed. Now, if you're selling an original product, if you're selling your own product, I don't recommend you do that, because you selling your product, your brand is going to speak for you. If you're a reseller, you're just selling something that somebody's buying, be it from Casio or Sony or one of these other brands, that's okay. But when they're actually buying your brand, you do want to invest in some peanut foam packing or something so that it's professional. And another good tip, you could throw some peppermints in a thank you card in there with whatever they ordered from your original store, so that way your original business, so that way they'll actually feel appreciated as a customer, and they'll be able to write a review and tell others about you. So I wanted to give you guys those tips. Hopefully you're enjoying this free game Friday as we talked about reselling through Amazon or eBay. And I'm going to give you guys just a couple of more tips in this before we close out for tonight. There is a book by Ryan Daniel Moran called 12 Months to 1 Million, How to Pick a Winning Product, Build a Business, and Become a 7-Figure Entrepreneur. And he talks about that and explains how you're able to go 12 months to 1 million reselling. And you can actually buy that at the link below. If you visit that link below, it's going to be on Amazon Prime. You can order his book, and I'm going to put that down there for you guys so that you can actually read about this stuff and research it yourself even deeper if you want more information. You can also do a consultation. Visit my website, www.themicahdobbinsshow.com, and we can schedule a consultation to discuss with you about your reselling business. Another thing I want to tell you guys is there were stories online of people who have done this reselling thing and have done well for themselves. One of my favorite stories was one of a gentleman who he and a coworker bought some baseball bats and began to sell sporting good items online through eBay. And eventually it went from baseball bats to gloves to uniforms, to helmets, to other sports. And before long, him and the woman got married. They actually didn't have room in their house for all of the different products that they were selling. They were walking sideways in the hallways because they had so many packages, and eventually they had to rent a warehouse. And once their business blew up to a certain level, they actually went ahead and sold it and invested in tech companies and live in Hawaii, last I heard. So sky's the limit with reselling, guys. If you really want a situation that could better your family and leave a legacy, reselling may be the way to go. One good thing about reselling is while you're asleep, that item is still on sale through Amazon, eBay, however, and people shop all kind of days or nights all around the world. So you're going to make money eventually if you leave that product up and you continue to find good deals that people are looking for. This is Micah Dobbins, host of the Micah Dobbins Show. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Free Game Friday, the Resellers Edition. Be sure to tune in next week as we'll be covering another business and telling you other opportunities for Free Game Friday. This is Micah signing off.